Munghana Lonene FM. Makomelela.
Uyilisa imikhosi yatingwazi. Na Pastor Strike Mangala. Eka Munghana Lonene FM. Makomelela.
This evening we welcome our guest and our very honored guest as we celebrate Women's Month, and that is none other but the legendary, the history maker, none other but Mam Zanele Mbokazi in Kambule. Good evening, ma'am, and welcome to Munghana Lonene FM.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
We're so glad to have you, and of course the SABC is your home, but today you're sitting on the other side of the microphone, and we just want to welcome you and celebrate you as we celebrate Women's Month.
Thank you. I appreciate, and I also want to greet the listeners, and especially other ladies, other women who may be listening at this time.
Thank you so very much, and our condolences from myself, my producer, and my listeners for your loss as a family, and may the Lord be with you and strengthen you.
Thank you so much. That is the reason why we wake up and we proclaim and profess our faith, because we know that we are not in this world forever. So when times like this come, we're able to say we shouldn't be shocked, really, because this is the reason we wake up every day, and we know that we are here only but a few moments. So we need to make sure that every day is special, and every day we write our letters and we are leaving a legacy.
We're talking of Zanele Mbokazi here, and you are a household name. But who exactly is Zanele Mbokazi in Kambule? Who is this one?
Look, Zanele is an ordinary girl who grew up in Durban, in Marion Hill to be precise. She grew up in a family that did not have much, but we had so much love, so much laughter. We were a family of song. My parents had no education, but they knew that they had to give me the best. I was very ambitious from a very early age. I always knew there were bigger things. I could see something that was calling my name from a very early age. You just know when you don't fit in an environment. At home, we would struggle with things, but there was this thing deep inside me which I could not explain that said, this is not how it's supposed to be, and this is not how it's going to end. Something, not in an arrogant way, that said, this is not your place. You don't belong in this. So I always knew there was something bigger. I could not describe it. I was too young for that. And as a result, I decided to push against all odds to leave the township school at the time, because remember, in the early 80s, we had what was called the black-on-black violence in KwaZulu-Natal and in Durban in particular. So I went to a boarding school, and I pushed my way through without funds, but I had to make a way of going to a boarding school, and the rest is history. I then went to university. I studied, and I just knew that there was something with my name on it that I had to push towards at the time. So that is really my story. Even when I finished matric and going to university, Mom could not believe it, because they were like, how are you going to pay? Who's going to pay? How are you going to survive? And I would say, as long as I get in, I will survive. I went to university. I did not have money. I survived on hot chips. For literally every day, I was having chips. They were quite cheap. I think we would buy them for 11 rand. You know, your hot chips, potato, fries, and I would eat them for 4 days. I would take a potion on a Monday, another potion on a Tuesday, just keep them just so that I could eat. But I knew when people went to parties on Friday, I was one of those boring girls. I would be in the library. Because what was driving Zanele at the time was one day. I kept saying, one day I will eat what I want. One day I will have as many parties as I want. One day I will be able to do what I want when I want.
Yeah, Mam Zanele, that's really powerful. But tell me, going through such, what exactly, how can you put it in one word, exactly what was going on in your mind? Because like you say, you were pushing through. Everything was saying, no, it's impossible. What is it in you? Because we still see this thing. We cannot really put a name into it, but I think you have a name for it. Even today, when we talk of Mam Zanele, we talk of somebody who pushes, somebody who makes things happen. In fact, I love to call you a history maker. What is that thing? And how can one get hold of that particular thing?
It is faith beyond limit. That's what it is. For me, I don't believe in anything I don't believe in impossibilities. I have insane faith. I've got stubborn faith. And in isiZulu sithi inkani engcwele. Yes. It's stubborn faith. When I believe in something, nothing will move me from that. But I also believe that you work hard, you do your part, and God will do the rest.
Wow.
So you can never intimidate, nor put to fail a person who's got stubborn faith. Because when we believe in something, we give our all, we give everything, no excuses. And then we know that God will then do the rest.
That's powerful. And on that note, Mam Zanele, tell me, when has been your defining moment when we talk about your faith in God? What exactly happened?
No, I'm not going to be able to give you details on that. Get my book, The Battle Is Not Yours, that was published years ago. This battle is not yours. It will give you the elements of faith, but it will also tell you how I became this Zanele that I am today, especially my journey with faith. I grew up in a Catholic church, and a Catholic family, and they shaped my early years. It was not until I was working for Ukhozi FM where I had my own encounter with God. I got sick. I was a very sickly person with migraines. Literally almost every month I will be in hospital because of severe migraines. And each time I had those attacks, they would be sure that I'm dying. They were very severe. But one day I was at St. Mary's Hospital in Marion Hill, and the doctors had concluded that I was dying. What they didn't know was that I was not talking, but I could hear them.
Yes.
So they thought I could not hear them. I had my family praying. I had them saying their goodbyes and everything that they were saying. But also the doctor, the superintendent of the hospital, Dr. Brookhart, walked in with another doctor. And he was telling him that he was sad that this young girl who is showing signs of being dedicated and of being a star of tomorrow. Unfortunately, she is dying, and there is nothing we can do. I am so sad. This is one of the cases in my career as a doctor. He went on and on and on and on. Little did he know that I could hear that I just could not respond. But that night, I'm not going to be able to give you details, but that night, it was 3:10 a.m. in the morning, and I had an encounter with God. When I woke up after that episode, I can't tell you what I saw. There was a Bible, you know, the Small Testament, the reddish one.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a small New Testament on the table next to my bed. Remember, it had been 3 days. I wasn't talking, I wasn't doing anything. I was in a coma. But when I woke up, there was this testament next to me, and I opened it. And it was this verse where Peter saw Jesus walking on water. And Jesus said, "Come." And Peter said, "If it is you, Lord, tell me to come." And I read that thing up to the point where Jesus said, "Ye of little faith, why are you doubting?"
Zanele, let me just dismiss this commercial break, and then because I would love to hear this clearly.
Sure.
Thank you. If you will continue, please. Sorry for interrupting you. I had to clear this commercial break so that it keeps us on air.
No, it's fine. No, I fully understand. Just to wrap up, I think that was a defining moment for me when I was in hospital, and when I woke up, that verse summed it all up, because Jesus was saying to Peter, "Come." That one word, come. I literally closed that small Bible, New Testament, and I had to say, from now on, Lord, I will not doubt again. That was a defining moment. I think I need to mention that was also the last time I had a migraine. Up until today, I don't know what is a headache, no, a migraine. And it changed my life. It changed my life. A new Zanele was born because of that amazing experience.
Wow. Zanele, let's just take this commercial break, and as we celebrate you, remember this Women's Month, and we chose to celebrate you for the great work that you are doing. And today, what a joy for us to hear exactly who is Zanele and where she comes from. But allow me to take this commercial break.
Thank you.
Sanibonani, uPhithi Zululo, uSisikazanele omdala. Zanele umuntu osifazane onamandla nesibindi sesimanga, nami yangimangaza ngenye inkathi into meyisethi uyayenza akasheshi. Mina-ke ngimbiza ngemvukuzane, ngoba ivukuzane uyigcina ila uyibonisa ivumbuka kwenye indawo. Naye ngeke ngithi la eThekwini enzeni ize imbonisa ivumbuka eCape Town, ususeCape Town sekwenye indawo. Akasheshi, unamandla, unothando oluningi lokubona abantu bejabule, unothando emndenini. Akayidingi ngokuba umzali ey'nganeni zakhe kuphela, kodwa umzali ey'nganeni ey'ningi ayisizayo emphakathini. Ntama asijwayele ukutshela, kodwa kuyisibusiso ukuba nawe emndenini wethu nothando onalo kuthina sonke. I love you so much. Uyo konke kimi, siyakuthanda. Ungajiki enhliziyweni yakho yokuthanda abantu nokusiza abantu noma kuphoqa kwenye idatha, kodwa wena qhubeka. uNkulunkulu akubusisa sigcinele wena.
Minkonzi ya Tingwazi na Pastor Strike 10 to 11 hi Msumbuluku na Majambu. Hlohloteleka.
I don't want to turn this into another sermon. Like, preachers make a sermon out of everything. But I just want to speak this message from my heart to you, Zanele, Mbokazi, my beautiful wife. You are an amazing woman, a God-fearing woman, which is one of the things that have always attracted me to you. You are the woman of Proverbs 31 in every way I can think of. And a great mother to our children. A very, very, very great wife to me. May the Lord bless you. May He enlarge your territory. You are the midwife of dreams. You have touched so many lives, changed so many lives, blessed so many lives. A lot of people have been blessed by the giftings that God has given you. You birth new ideas every time, and it never stops to amaze me. In a moment, you just birth new ideas. You are indeed the midwife of dreams. May God bless you. I love you so much.
Munghana Lonene FM.
Sitaza na maungu na mitlangu, swilotala ka Munghana Lonene. Munghana Lonene,
Makombandlela.
Hello everyone, my name is Unonjabulo Mdluli and I am the niece/daughter to Zanele Mbokazi. And tonight I'd like to join you guys in celebrating her. As we are about to end a Women's Month, we'd like to celebrate you, Ma, because not only are you the world's greatest mother to each and every one of us. But I think I'm speaking for my siblings and my whole family. Mangisho ukuthi uyisibusise empilweni zethu. I don't know how life would be without you. I don't even wanna know. So nje inkosi ngathi ngasigcinela wena iqhubeke njalo ube nempilo ende and ikubusise with all your heart desires nje iminyango yonke ongqongqoza kuyona ivuleke. But as we are celebrating women, I think ngikhulumela each and every individual that has ever come across you. Bazongivumela nabo mangisho ukuthi uyisibusise nabo empilweni zabo. I see a lot of young girls out there. I know a lot of older women nabadala ngisho nawe who look up to you, and each and every day you touch people's lives in so many different ways. And just want to say we see you, we hear you, and we celebrate you. We love you so much, Mbokazi. We love you so much, so much. Don't nkosi nje iqhubeke ikubusise njalo. Thank you.
Ushesha uyiseni inkonzo yatingwazi na Pastor Strike Manganyi eka Munghana Lonene FM makombandlela.
Soke mingisi mina ngpoka nongonoko minkondi yatingwazi kasingwazi ya hina madame namuntlha Zanele Mbokazi Nkambule. Zanele, when you hear your sister,
I'm gonna get all of them for this. Oh my goodness. I'm sitting with people at home and they are here with me and they don't even tell me. My husband doesn't even tell me. Oh, that is so sweet.
We're taking this time just to celebrate you, and it was not going to be complete without family coming on board and just celebrating you and telling you how much you mean to them and to us all as a nation. You know, when you are a nation builder, sometimes we take you for keeps, but it's important sometimes for us to take a time and tell you who you are to us all and the family, to have an opportunity to celebrate you. And what comes to mind when you hear your elder sister talking and your husband, Bishop there, and your daughter?
You're going to make me cry. I don't normally cry. I'm not one of those girls. But yeah, it makes me quite emotional because those are people that know me. You had my sister. She's the only sister I have alive. You had my niece, my daughter, and my husband. Those are people who know me, the real me. When the curtain goes down, when there are no lights and no cameras, those are people who know the real Zanele. They know the tears, they know the struggles, they know literally everything. So to hear them talk about me like that, it is very special. And I want to thank you for going and doing that and giving them an opportunity to say that. I really, really appreciate that. I mean, I give. I am a giver. I celebrate people. We don't get this. We get people complaining. We get people saying whatever they want to say. We never get a moment where people stop and say thank you. And we are so used to people not being grateful for what we give and what we do. So thank you.
Thanks, Ma'am Zanele. You're very right. You know, when I celebrated my 50th birthday some years back, and had people tell me what I mean to them, my contribution, I'm telling you, it was a very bad day for me. I cried the whole day because, and I end up saying, you know, I know the joy of giving. I didn't know the pain of receiving. You know?
Exactly. We are so used to people saying, I mean, you do this today, they celebrate you. Tomorrow they say whatever.
Yes.
So we seldom. This is weird to hear people saying, "Yeah, thank you." It's very nice. But we're not. I need to get used to this.
Ma'am Zanele, let's talk about your journey, more especially in the media space. You know, it dates back in the 1990s, and what really led you into media? You talk of radio, you talk of television. What exactly led you into this space?
Look, I grew up, as I said, in the 80s, where with the violence in KwaZulu-Natal, my brother was in the police force, and he was murdered. He was killed. He was killed because of the spoken word of what people had said at that time. And again, that was another turning point for me because I realized the power of the spoken word. I realized that one word can heal, but also one word can kill. So for people who are on radio, that is something that they need to remember all the time. So I studied radio. I studied media. When I was at varsity, I studied politics and media, which is a deadly combination. I studied politics and media. I even did honors in media. And that is how I ended up on Ukhozi FM. I was the first young person to work on Ukhozi. At that time, there were legends, Odloza, Kansas City, and I was just this young girl who came in from nowhere. And I did not just do radio, but I ended up being the first girl to do the drive. I mean, we've got so many girls doing drive now. At that time, it was taboo. It was a big thing for a young girl to do 3 to 6. I was the first ever in the country. And I did so well. I loved radio. I really think that radio is my first love. But then being on radio led me to television at the same time. And I was doing gospel at the time. There were no gospel programs on Ukhozi FM. I started it. And I started a youth talk show as well. And the doors on television opened. And the rest is history. I've done so many TV programs on different channels. And yeah, I still do contribute on many radio stations on different subjects, be it business, be it just inspiration. But I love radio. I think I still love the radio more than television.
Yeah, radio it has got a way of reaching out. You listen
It's
to
the
radio in the
theater of
car.
the mind.
Deals with the mind.
My name is Joan. I'm a friend to Zanele Mbokazi. We've known each other for years. I can share with you what draws me to her. It's her unusual combination of personality and character traits. She is strong, yet loving and warm. She is powerful, yet humble and caring about those around her. She's accessible to people at very high levels and low levels, and she manages to make people comfortable in her space. I've witnessed her resilience, determination, and hard work. She embodies these traits. This is why she's successful. These traits have carried her through tough situations where very few would have survived. She comes out always on the other side stronger and wiser. She's accessible, she is beautiful, she is interesting, she is fun, she is just an unusual combination of beautiful things that many of us would do well to learn from as women. Yeah, thank you.
Munghana Lonene FM.
Munghana Lonene minga pumari chumu. Munghana Lonene Makombandlela.
From Sosonongonoko Minkondo Yatingwazi. Mam Zanele, when you hear your friends celebrating you tonight, what comes to your mind?
Oh, you guys are naughty. Look, it makes me very emotional. Joan is a friend, very strong herself. So to hear them talk like this, it's really amazing. It's humbling. I really appreciate them. Sometimes you need to surround yourself with people that you can also learn from and grow from. Because if you always have people that look up to you, it becomes very difficult because you become arrogant, but also you don't grow. So it's very, very special. I really appreciate what you guys have done. It's humbling.
When you stop a very busy person and and you celebrate them. Sometimes when you stop them, they think, hey, you're wasting my time, I'm so busy. But it's important for us to give you a feedback, Mam Zanele, and appreciate you as a nation on this Women's Month as we celebrate the women of South Africa, the history makers. And let's talk tonight about one of your greatest projects. I know you have started many things. In fact, you are a pioneer. You are a go-getter. You open doors. Mam Zanele is everywhere, and not just everywhere, and not making an impact whatever you touch. It really turns to gold. But let's talk about how you took gospel music in South Africa to another level when we talk about the awards. The Crown Gospel Awards are the biggest, are the most powerful awards in gospel music in the country, and you're the engine behind it. Let's talk about it. How did it come about? I know you did Gospel Gold, you did one gospel reality competition, Shine, but let's talk, and you also did Rekindle with Zanele. You remember Rekindle with Zanele?
Yes. Rekindle.
Yeah, and then we're talking of quite a number of Christian programs that you did, or spiritual programs that you did. But looking at Crown Gospel Awards, how did it come about?
Look, I did gospel programs on Mbokazi FM, and there were no gospel programs. I started them, and at the same time, I did Gospel Gold on SABC 1 for 7 years. That gave me access into the world of gospel at the time, and it hurt me what I saw, because we were so unprofessional. Gospel music, you would get a CD, somebody would come to the studio and give you a CD that had a sleeve that was a photocopy. They would list their songs at the back, and you try and play number 1 and it's number 10 instead. It was terrible. It was terrible. You go to concerts, they will not have proper sound, and when you ask, they will say, oh man, it's just gospel.
It's just gospel.
Yes. And then also, in the bigger world, there were festivals that were very big. For example, Mbokazi FM, Radio Zulu, had a big festival every year on the 31st and on the 1st. But the stadium will be packed. Gospel musicians, will be called in to open. So they would come and sing at the beginning, and then after singing, Kansas City will then announce, now the show will start. And that used to kill me, because gospel was in the periphery. They did not see gospel as an integral part of the music industry in South Africa. So that is what really drove me. The last one was, I interacted with a gospel artist at the time. You will call them to an interview, and you will be, when you talk to them, you will realize that this person is speaking about him, but has no idea who he is. They didn't have a relationship with the Jesus and the God that was singing about. So that is what pushed me, because when I started, I said, I want to bring back the gospel into gospel music. Because the gospel is the good news, and the good news is Jesus Christ. They can't do gospel without Jesus Christ. You can not sing about him and not know him, and not be in relationship with him. So those are the things that were pushing me. I said, 1, let's bring back the gospel into gospel music. 2, let us train the artists and people in the industry so that they understand the business side of gospel music. But 3, let us professionalize what we're doing so that we set the standard. When we talk about something for God, our God is the owner of everything in the universe. So when I'm doing something for my God, that should be the standard. That is why we have hashtag levels, which everyone has taken now. It was started by the crowd. Hashtag levels. Because when you're talking about God, we need to set the standard and level. So that's really how I started. I had no money. I went to RISA at the time, the recording industry organization, and there were two old men. I always mention this when I get interviews. Old white male, two. They laughed at me. They said, "Girl, do you understand what you want? I mean, gospel awards. Are you going to have one category? Are you going to do it in a hall in Umlazi?" Because I was from Durban, they assumed everyone is from Umlazi. "Are you going to do it in a hall in Umlazi?" They laughed, like they took out their cigars and they laughed. I was in Randburg, in their office is RISA. And I'm so glad they did that, because I stood up, I had tears running down my eyes, and I said, "Listen, I'm going to do this. And I'm hoping one day you will come and witness it. With God on my side, nothing is impossible." The rest is history.
Wow. Hi, Mam Zanele. This is Dr. Tumi. I would like to just wish you a lovely Women's Month, and just thank you as well for the contribution that you continuously make in the body of Christ to uplift the standard of the gospel music in South Africa. The Crown Gospel Awards are the epitome of gospel awards in the country and celebrating excellence, and they do encourage people to work on their craft, and so their impact has been great, and your contribution to the gospel in the country has therefore really been significant, and we just want to thank you and appreciate you also for the opportunity that it creates for musicians as well as the fans to really just have an opportunity to just think and celebrate one another. It brings the body of Christ together and puts the gospel on the front pages every time they happen, and for the first time in a year we really have gospel music being played prime time for the entire nation to watch as we celebrate Gospel Awards. Thank you, and may God keep you and bless you, you and your entire family, and may He use you for more and more in the kingdom of God. We love you, and God bless.
Good evening, Pastor Strike. This is Ropiwa. I have known and worked with Zanele Mbokazi, this wonderful woman who is a sister and a friend. We've worked together for more than 10 years now. I've learned and still learning a lot from her. She's one person who is not afraid to conceive and give birth, and she will push and push until things happen. She's been a midwife to so many dreams. She once said, if you are tired of no's, you gotta go and create your own yes. And she's indeed doing that. Every day in her life, she is creating her own yes. And I'm definitely following on her trajectory. Because part of what I am today, part of what I'm doing today, part of what I've achieved today came from her, because, you know, she will hold you and walk with you and teach you a lot of things in life. So I'm happy to be close to her. I'm blessed and very lucky to be part of her life. She's motherly, she's friendly, she's such a wonderful, God-fearing woman. So as we wrap up this Women's Month, I celebrate her, and I celebrate her every single day because I love her to bits. I love her so much.
Mam Zanele, Dr. Tumi and Ropiwa celebrating you tonight. What comes to mind? Dr. Tumi represents the many artists, the many gospel musicians who have been honored or had a privilege and an honor of participating in the Crown Gospel Awards.
Look, it is an honor to hear Dr. Tumi talking like that. And I do know that there are other artists that feel the same. Whenever they get an opportunity, some of them will now and again do mention. I thank him, and we appreciate to hear that what we are doing makes an impact in their lives. And as for Ropiwa, we've been working together for 10 years now, more than 10 years. As she says, she's a friend, she's a sister, she knows what we've been through. It's not easy to pull an event like the Crown. It's a huge event. It's a very big event with many facets. So we need a team, and she's always been part of that team. But the crowns have grown to impact the gospel industry in the entire continent. So people sing to Tim Godfrey today. We were the first to bring Tim Godfrey to South Africa. Nara, Nara, people, it's beautiful when we see what is happening, the linkages that have been built. Joe Mantle from Ghana. So we've gone beyond our borders. We have taught people from beyond our borders. I have traveled to various countries to speak, to assist them in starting their own awards. So we are grateful of the opportunity that yet we created it, but also we would not have done it without God. It was not just a good idea. This was indeed a God idea.
Powerful. That's very true. This truly is a God idea. And Mam Zanele, like you said, sometimes while you journeying in this life and touching lives and going about your dreams, and not for yourself, of course, because one thing I have realized is that dreamers, they're like fruit trees. They don't eat their own fruits, they feed everybody else, and they stand back. What are some of the saddest moments you've had in your life, more especially in your dreaming? Your husband spoke of you being a midwife of dreams and dreamers. And the very same thing Rupiwa said, I believe it's not a coincidence, but it's exactly who you are. You go all out to birth ideas. But, with all the successes, there are some of the things that really become setbacks, but we conquer them. But what are some of the things that really set you back, more especially in these dreams that you pursue as an individual and as an organization?
Sometimes it is, when we started, we used to be very sensitive to what people will say, what the reviews will be. I think we were young in the industry. We didn't understand that not everybody will love you, not everybody will cherish what you're doing, not everybody will celebrate your strides. People, even artists themselves, if they win this year, you are the biggest hero. If they enter the following year and they don't win, then the awards are not good enough. So we get that. We get a lot of that. Artists will say those things. We are used to that now. But the following year they come back and they want to enter again. And you ask yourself, are they good enough now? So you get that. But also it's very difficult we don't have money. Gospel, it's a big struggle to get sponsorship for gospel. And I'm hoping that we're going to be coming to Limpopo very soon. I'm really hoping, but we need you guys to lobby your government.
Yes.
Because the only reason we are in KZN is because the government of KwaZulu-Natal sponsors, and that's the only reason. That we would love to move around the country, and we are bringing something very big in the gospel music industry very soon, and I'm hoping that Limpopo will grab it and take it. The challenges, it is money, it is resources, and then it is pure people, betrayal. We work with people. We work with human beings every day. People say one thing and they do the other. People steal ideas, steal literally everything. So I guess it is that. But you grow, you grow, you learn, and you are able to put boundaries, and you're able to say, right now, we wake up, you see headlines, we're able to say, really, is that what they've written about me? That's not me. And forge ahead, forge ahead. But 10 years ago, I would have cried, I would have sat in my room, we don't anymore. You wake up, there's a story, so-and-so is not coming to the crown. So what? There are 500 other artists in South Africa. If she's not, or he's not coming to the crown, so what? What's the big story?
Wow.
So those have been the challenges. We able to grow, we able to learn and overcome them one way or the other with God on our side.
Ma'am Zanele, we just want to say from Munghana Lonene FM management, Mr. Obisi as our manager and Mr. Makubane as our programs manager and my producer Bongani Maluleke, and from myself, Pastor Strike, we say, Ma'am Zanele, you are a legend indeed. We celebrate you in this Women's Month and all the best with your endeavors, and continue being a midwife of all those wonderful dreams. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate. I am on social media at Mbokazi Zanele on Instagram. Thank you so much to the entire team, and God bless you.
Thank you so very much. We'll surely give them to you, and have a blessed evening.